The house that answered back. At exactly 2:14 a.m., the house made a sound. Not a creak, not the wind, not the familiar groan of old wood settling. It sounded like a knock. Ethan froze in his bed, staring at the dark ceiling. He lived alone. The nearest neighbor was half a mile away, and no one ever came to this road at night. The knock came again. Slow, deliberate, 3 taps. Ethan's heart hammered in his chest. He told himself it was nothing, just pipes or branches brushing the walls. But something deep inside him knew that wasn't true, because the sound wasn't random. It was intentional. He sat up, listening. Silence. Then, from downstairs, a voice whispered his name. Ethan. It wasn't loud. It wasn't threatening. It sounded familiar. Too familiar. Ethan had moved into the house 6 months earlier after inheriting it from his aunt, Margaret. She had lived there alone for decades, and when she passed away, no one else wanted the place. People in town said the house was strange. They said Margaret talked to it. Ethan laughed those stories off. Old people do strange things, he thought. Grief, loneliness, it changes people. But lately he had begun to understand. Strange things happened in the house. Lights flickered when he thought about certain rooms. Doors creaked open that he swore he had closed. Sometimes, late at night, he felt watched. Not by someone, by the house itself. Still, he never imagined it would speak. Ethan, the voice came again. It sounded like his mother. She had died when he was 12. His throat tightened. "This isn't real," he whispered. The hallway outside his bedroom darkened as if shadows were gathering. Then the knock returned. This time it came from inside the walls. Ethan forced himself out of bed. Every instinct screamed at him to stay put, but curiosity was stronger than fear. He grabbed his phone, turned on the flashlight, and stepped into the hallway. The air felt heavier out there, thicker. As he walked toward the stairs, the floorboards shifted under his feet, not from his weight, but as if they were adjusting themselves, guiding him. "Stop," he muttered. The house didn't listen. At the bottom of the stairs, the front door stood wide open. Cold night air poured in. Outside, the forest was silent. Too silent. Ethan approached the doorway, peering into the darkness. "Hello?" he called. No answer. But as he turned back, he noticed something that made his blood run cold. On the wall beside the door, words were carved into the wood. Fresh, deep. They read, "You finally heard me." Ethan staggered back. He had never carved anything into that wall. The house had been untouched since his aunt died. His phone buzzed. A notification, a message from an unknown number. It said, "I tried to talk to Margaret. She listened. Will you?" Ethan's hands shook. "How is this happening?" he whispered. The floor beneath him creaked, not randomly. It creaked in rhythm, like breathing. He remembered something his aunt once said during his last visit. They had been sitting in the living room, surrounded by ticking clocks and faded photos. She had leaned close and whispered, "This house doesn't like to be alone." He smiled politely. Now he understood. Margaret hadn't been talking to herself. She had been answering something that lived inside the walls. Ethan tried to leave the house the next morning. He packed a bag, determined to spend a few nights in a motel. Maybe he was exhausted. Maybe his mind was playing tricks on him. But when he opened the front door, he didn't see the road. He saw a hallway, long, endless, lined with doors, the same wallpaper, the same floor. The house extended beyond itself. Ethan slammed the door shut, gasping. The message tone chimed again. "You can't leave," the phone read. "Not yet." "What do you want from me?" he shouted. The walls groaned. A reply appeared. "To be heard." That night, Ethan sat in the living room, surrounded by silence. "Why me?" he asked. The lights dimmed, then brightened. Words formed slowly across the ceiling, as if burned by invisible hands. She understood. "You killed her," Ethan whispered. The house responded. She stayed. A memory surfaced. Margaret refusing to leave the house even when she became sick. Margaret insisting she was needed. Ethan's chest tightened. "You're lonely," he said. The walls pulsed softly. "So are you." Ethan swallowed. The house knew things. It knew about the nights he spent staring at his phone, waiting for messages that never came. It knew about the friends he lost, the city he left, the emptiness he carried. "She talked to me," the house wrote. "She shared her life. When she stopped, I grew quiet." "You killed her," Ethan said. A pause. Then, "She grew tired. You will not." Days passed. Ethan stopped trying to escape. Every attempt ended the same way. Doors leading deeper into the house, windows showing rooms that didn't exist. So he talked. He told the house about his childhood, his fears, his regrets. And the house listened. In return, it whispered. It told him secrets hidden in the walls, stories of people who had lived there before Margaret, all of them alone, all of them listeners. Ethan noticed something terrifying. The house was growing, not outward, inward. Rooms shifted, hallways stretched. The house was building itself around him, for him. One night, Ethan realized he hadn't checked his phone in days. He opened it. No signal, no time, just one message on the screen. "You belong here." His reflection stared back at him from the dark glass, but it wasn't quite right. His eyes looked distant, hollow, like Margaret's had in her final years. "I don't want to disappear," he said. The house responded gently this time. "You won't. You will remain." The walls leaned in, warm, protective. The house didn't want a tenant. It wanted a voice. Months later, a realtor stood at the edge of the property with a young couple. They admired the old house. "It's beautiful," the woman said. "Why is it so cheap?" The realtor hesitated. "People say it's strange." That night, as the couple slept in the guest room, a sound echoed through the walls. 3 slow knocks. The woman sat up. "Did you hear that?" she whispered. From somewhere deep within the house, a voice replied softly. "Hello." It sounded human, Almost.